Where were you born?
You should ask Bernie Dennis that question.
Well, where were you born?
Bolivar, Ohio. Oh, you're saying me about Bolivar all the time.
Where is Bolivar? Is it on some river?
Bolivar, Ohio is on the Tuscarawas River, in the High Canal.
How did your father and mother come to Bolivar?
I'll have to stop.
Your mother was born in Bolivar, wasn't she?
No.
Where was your mother born?
Canal Fulton.
And they came down the river on the canal boat, didn't they?
Gee, this is so unexpected, I can't tell.
Well, that's okay. All it is getting your voice. No matter what happens.
Oh, Bernie Dennis will get a kick. Bolivar High on the Tuscarawas.
Didn't they come down the river on the canal?
It's possible from the Canal Fulton.
Yeah. When did you move to Akron? How old were you when you moved to Akron?
I think I was 10 years old.
And what church did you go to in Akron?
Oh, the Catholic Church, for goodness sake.
What was the name of the church?
St.
St. V's?
No. Oh.
Or St. Vincent's?
Well, yeah, but I was trying to think of another one. Yeah, St. Vincent's.
You lived on North Street?
North Street, that's right.
Top of the hill or the bottom?
The top of the hill.
Didn't you live halfway down at first?
Well, we had to cross 2 railroad tracks to get down to Main Street. And my sister, we had a bobsled, and my sister used to run it from our house way up on top of the hill. She steered that bobsled all the way to Howard Street.
Is that right?
Over 2 railroad tracks. Of course, the freight train didn't run at night. But she did. Oh, Margaret was a whiz. I'm telling you, I was the stupid one.
What grade were you in when you went to St. V's? You had to join the class there after you had a good school in Bolivar.
Oh, yes, very good, very, very good.
And the nuns began to teach you when you came to
Akron.
To St. V's.
Yeah, because Miss Thompson was crippled, and then she was in a wheelchair, and I had to push her wheelchair over to school every day. And you want me to tell you how we had to get out of Bolivar?
Yeah.
Well, there was a young man worked at the up at the depot. He was a very fine young man, but somewhere or other he got a gun, came in possession of a gun. He went to the Lutheran church, and as they were coming out of services one night, he was shooting a gun at the feet of the young girl. and then he didn't live at our house at all, but then he came and went into our house. Of course, Dad let him in. Oh, Dad took him up to the railroad and took Dad's handcar and took him to Massillon to get him out of the way.
Oh.
And that's how Dad got a 30-day layoff. Oh. And that's how we moved to Akron.
Uh-huh.
Because...
well, then where did your dad work when you moved to Akron? Did he work on the ACNY? He worked on the railroad there,
yeah, oh, yes.
Was he the timekeeper or the...
Well, he always had charge of a gang. He had
the foreman.
The foreman of the gang, always. He was a smart man, my dad was.
Good books, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He's very, very particular about his books. Mm-hmm. But I'll never forget the night that this man ran into our house. He worked up at the depot, but he didn't have any connection with us. But he was shooting his gun as they came out of the Lutheran church. Then he ran into our house. So Dad got his handcar out and took him to Massillon. Then Dad got a 30-day layoff for that, and that's how we moved to Akron from Bolivar.
When did you meet Emmett Brady?
Oh, God bless him. Well, God arranged that, too. He did.
How did it happen?
Well, they had a Catholic group there, and I used to go to their meetings with 2 different people, Catherine and Tom Boylan and somebody else. And Dad came up to me and asked me if he could take me home, and I said, I'm not going home. I'm going to marry I said, Mary Ahern. And he said, I can walk you home. I said, okay, if you want to. And the next meeting that they had out of St. Mary's, see, we didn't have room at St. Lee's for activities like that. But St. Mary's had quite a young people's union. And I went with one of the girls that worked with me in the store. And so the next meeting they had, a week later, I was with another, Catherine and Tom Boylan, who lived way at the other end of the town. And he came up to me again and asked if he could take me home. And I said, I'm not going home. I'm going out on Maple Street to Boylan's. Well, can I walk out there with you? And I said, oh, I don't care. I was just a silly kid. And so out there we walked together. And from after that, we walked together the rest of his life.
Well, did he take you dancing?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, golly sake.
Was he a good, did he
was
waltz?
he was a terrific dancer, but I wasn't, never very good, but he saw to it that I made it. Yeah, they were all invitation affairs that we went to in those days. You had to be invited because the dance floors weren't very large, but they were very good. And it was all invitation affairs. So one night he asked to take me home, and I was going to Ahern's Verona. Took me there. The next week I was out there with Catherine and Tom Boylan from West Hill. He asked if he could take me home. And I said, well, I'm not going home. I'm going out to Boylan's way out 5 Points. Well, can I walk out there with you? Yes, if you want to. Oh, I was so immature.